What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and I got another episode of People's Questions, episode 69. Sorry if you can tell by my voice, still a little sick. But I actually got a lot more questions this time around than I did last time, so I'm going to try to run through them pretty fastly, so they won't really be as detailed as they usually are, simply because I have so many and I don't want to make this video too long. So to get started, the first five questions come from Mike Styles. And your first question that you want to know was, are there any actresses that I consider sexy or very attractive? The answer is not really, simply because I personally have never really felt I need to develop any type of fantasy ideas about actresses because of three main reasons. Number one, don't know who that person really is. I'm not someone who actually likes to objectively think about someone just from the outside appearances. Number two, they don't know who I am, so they probably don't give a shit. And three, when I have girls like her on the mind, real actresses don't even compare. Next question is, what are my expectations for Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot? I have no expectations because I have no plans on seeing it. I know what Michael Bay will probably do with this supposed franchise. I don't like it. It's something I somewhat grew up with in my younger childhood. As far as I know, there's only two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, and that's 1 and 2, Secret of the Ooze, and I have no plans on seeing it, so I have no expectations. Next question is, have I ever watched Arrested Development before? No, I haven't. It's another one of those TV shows which I simply don't have enough extra time in my life to just sit down and just watch television episodes. Although it is on Netflix, so if I ever have a whole week or weekend of vacation time, then I'll just spend it watching whatever TV series are on Netflix. And Arrested Development is on there, so that's another one I can add to the list. Next question is, do I feel like season passes hurt or help video games in the long run? I think it's a bit of both. And that's really all I can say about it. I personally don't have any season passes myself, but from what I have heard, they do have certain advantages of getting access to certain just certain content at certain times. But I think that the cost may be not exactly worth the products that you get. So I think it really depends on who you are and what you are expecting from your season pass. And last, in my opinion, what is the worst female singer? Rebecca Black for that stupid Friday song. That's all that needs to be said. Next question comes from Criticism Guy 2009, and you want to know, what is my favorite fast food place to enjoy the most? It's a tie between Pizza Hut and Panda Express. Pizza Hut because I think that pizza is the ultimate gamer food, and Panda Express because I've made it a movie tradition that after every movie that I go to the theaters, I always go to Panda Express and get a box of orange chicken. I think I've said that before. So, yeah, every time I see a movie and I do a review, you will know that probably earlier that day before I started filming, I had some orange chicken. The next number of questions, or the next question in general, comes from Juggernaut 100, and you want to know, well, I did a review on Metro last night. I actually have put it on my Gamefly list when it does arrive, because I actually just finished beating Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel. So I'll be sending that in to later today, and hopefully if they send that to me next, then I'll play it and review it for you guys. So yeah, it's on my list of things to play. Next questions come from DKT4377, and you want to know, what do I think is better, Star Trek or Star Wars? Star Wars, hands down. As much as I like the reboot in terms of overall quality, in terms of movie production, I think the reboot of Star Trek was much better than they did with Star Wars. I think overall, in terms of what Star Trek offers and what Star Wars offers, Star Wars hands down beats it. Next question is, am I a little concerned that J.J. Abrams' handling of both franchises? Well, he's not going to be directing Star Trek 3. I think they've confirmed that already. So, in terms of him handling both franchises, I think he's done a pretty good job. We just have to wait and see what he does with Star Wars, and that's all I have to say on the matter. Next question is, am I excited for the next XMen movie? Yes. Not Wolverine in general, but I am very pumped up for Days of Futures Past. I think I've said it multiple times, I'm more excited for Days of Futures Past than I could ever be for, like, Justice League. Simply because that storyline is so well done. We actually got a little hint of that in X-Men 3, and it was just a little bit disappointing that it was just a training simulation. So now that we actually get to see the whole thing, we actually get to see the new cast from First Class work alongside the original cast of X-Men. I think that's going to be phenomenal. How they're going to balance that out, I'm not sure. I actually personally would like to see them split up into 2 films, but only time will tell to see exactly how they handle that storyline. And your last question is, do I have any info on Star Wars Clone Wars series? I'm not sure if they're doing another season. If those of you who don't know, the way it ended was a little weird, because I'm trying to figure out how is that going to tie into the beginning of episode 3. So I'm hoping they do at least one more season, and apparently they were going into explaining Order 66. So I personally don't have any information on if they're doing another season of Clone Wars, but I do know that they are going to start a new animated series called Star Wars Rebels, and it takes place between episodes 3 and 4, so expect to see more Obi-Wan Kenobi, in my opinion. And the last number of questions come from Japino10, but he wants me to just call him Pino now, so your first question is, what are my thoughts on the new Arkham Origins trailer? It looks alright. I would have liked to have seen some gameplay, but, you know, it looks like Batman's kind of being hunted now that, you know, someone like Deathstroke and Deadshot are going after him, so it seems like Black Mask has put out some type of bounty on Batman, so it looks like Batman's going to be more on the defensive side than the offensive side like he's been in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, so I need some more gameplay before I can really give a real coherent thought of my viewpoint for Arkham Origins. Next question is, who is the most powerful DC villain? Or, I think you were kind of edging at DC villain. My voice is going to sound a little weird for saying this, but I believe unquestionably the most powerful villain I can think of in the DC universe is Imperiex. I hope I said that right. And Imperiex is such a destructive force. I really wish I could go in depth as exactly how powerful he is, but put it like this. One clear example of his power is he basically completely vaporized Doomsday. Doomsday thought he was so big and bad, and I mean, this is the guy that killed Superman, so obviously he's pretty powerful, but the Imperiex just kind of zapped his ass and completely vaporized him, and all that was left was a skeleton, so he must be pretty powerful. You know, next question is, who do I think is the best normal hero or villain without powers? You know, as a Batman fan, I would obviously want to say Batman and Joker simply because, you know, they're arch rivals, but I simply don't know everything about the DC universe to really answer that question, because as much as I love Batman, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other heroes in the DC universe that don't have powers, so I can't really pick anyone because I don't know everyone. If I knew everybody that was in this universe, then I could actually give a solid answer, but I can't do that because I don't know everybody. Next question is, will I get the next Call of Duty or Battlefield game? I will rent Call of Duty and Battlefield. I will not buy them. I don't own any of the Battlefield games. I only own 2 of the Call of Duty games, and all I did for Black Ops 2 was rent it. I rented it for a week, played the campaign, got a couple trophies, and then I sent it back. And I'll do the same thing with both those games. Just play it once, maybe do a second run through to get some extra trophies, and then I'll send it right back out. Next question is, what places in Europe would I like to visit? Mostly everywhere in the UK, really. I was born in London, so it'd be really nice to go back and visit. If there's any other specific locations in Europe you think would be nice to visit around when I head out and have some vacation time, if I have the money and like time to do it so, then I'd be more than happy to, you know, take a side tour and go on an extra adventure. And the last question of the year is, what is my most anticipated game of 2013 this year? Well, if you actually look at my most anticipated games list for this year, I think I tell you, and that was Dead Space 3, which currently is the one of 2 games that has my nomination for Game of the Year, the second being Ni no Kuni, so I'm looking for my 3rd Game of the Year game. And I think I gave this like a 9.5. It was definitely somewhat better than Dead Space 2. It didn't disappoint. It kept me on the edge of my toes. And I'm just a little bit upset that I really haven't had much time to try to platinum this game, because I get so many games I have to go in and out. I don't really have as much free time as I used to. And with that, that is all the questions that you guys sent in for this episode of the People's Questions. I'd like to thank all of you out there who sent them in. You make the People's Questions and you make this episode what it is today. If you guys have any questions on any topic, video game, movies, or just me related, please comment them down in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please like, comment down below, and please subscribe to keep track of me my future episodes of the People's Questions. And like always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.